We thought the gods had brought us here to show their compassion, but all we have known are tragedies.
Is that your best? The beckoned has come at last. It can only mean that the gods wish to take us back into their faith. Ifine, guide your actions.
How many more years will Anakata sequester himself from us? We need him.
Come. If that fool... If Anakatos wishes us to retrieve the circlet, we will do it quickly. I wish to be done with this. Very well. Keep close. There are worse things than marauders in these lower tunnels. They have lurked these walls for decades, raised along with the city years ago. I hear you. Let us be quick about this. There. That is the artifact you seek. The Circlet of Arcades. By taking it, Arcades' grave becomes an empty tomb. Let us depart. Anakatos has had his fun with me, and there is nothing left to plunder. It is nothing I can share with you, Beckoned. It is not worth your time. I always thought that were I to come to Arcades' crypt, it would be because of the work of gods alone. And here I am, by the will of none but Anakatos, flesh and blood. I cannot! I will not! Even after all these years, he has not forgotten his brand of viciousness. He knows I must obey his command. I apologize for my outbursts. However, it can be hard to let convictions go. But we must. We must. Take the circlet back to Anakatos. He is most likely waiting for you. They are colossi who succumb to the burden of this wilderness, letting it transform them into mindless brutes. They have the strength of our strongest, with none of the wisdom. Be cautious in these lands.
been long since I have prayed to the gods, but I feel the litany singing once more.
Welcome, Beckon. Beckon? It seems my preconceptions were off, but I still need your divine aid. The plague spreads. I have worked on this city for all my lifetime. The sewers that run below it are my masterpiece. But this work of art is besmirched by rats. These foul vermin run rampant in my catacombs, tainting it with their fetid presence. Try as I might, I cannot best the scourge. But you beckoned. Your divine intervention is needed. I have pinpointed a much-traveled route used by the rats and seeded it with traps that can be activated on command. Find the levers that activate those traps. They've been placed on a ledge overlooking the route. When you see the rats pass below, simply pull the levers as they approach the traps. Slay the filthy vermin. Are you enjoying its splendors? This fair city is rich with them. Even in the sewers, under its gleaming exterior, lies a feat of engineering unrivaled by other cities in Amalur. The Lycaeus breeds thinkers, philosophers. They spend their days pondering the greater meaning of existence. Such are their debates that they shake the very foundations of Idylla. For some time, non-believers have touted that the relevance of the Lycaeus has passed, but I'm confident all it needs is one brilliant lecturer to stoke its fires. I am a mason, one of many caretakers of the sewers. A hidden menace, the secret horde. Though few acknowledge them, the rats are the great threat to this city. In my younger days, I hunted the vermin with a force of will unequaled by the greatest of the theologians in the Lycaeus. Once I hunted the rats that plague our sewers with such zeal, but I have worked myself to exhaustion and am forced to rest here. Though I rest, the rats do not. Please, find the traps I laid in the sewer and lay waste to them. I wish you well. Yes?
I expected the beckoned would arrive sooner or later.
Ah, the famed beckoned comes to me at last. Admittedly, my request might be the smallest you will hear, but I wish to voice it nonetheless. To preserve the past. All around us is the great chisel and hammer of progress, keen on dragging my people towards enlightenment. But such progress means nothing without context. I wish for someone who can find artifacts of my ancestors, reminders of our simpler times. Very good. I'll reward you for any artifacts you can find, but larger artifacts will do well for both of us. I await your findings. They are strewn throughout the teeth of Naros. They may be hidden in forgotten corners or carried by beasts as trophies. I do not forget Arcais, or what he did for my people. He led us here and started this city, but most cannot see past his flaws. How do you find our city, Beckoned? Grand, is it not? It is the great island of progress, as I see it. But even it cannot forget the world it left below. All the rocks you see, here and in the sewers, once rested in the teeth of Naros. They are little things, of no intrinsic value. But as my people are so convinced to make progress, these artifacts are the few records of who we once were. This is a place for those who are weary of their burdens. If you feel so, you can rest for a while. I'm just one who's intent on maintaining the cultural integrity of her people. We were once no nobler than the Jotun or the Etin. Some would purge this history, but then how will we remember it? Be careful with them.
I expected the Beckoned would arrive sooner or later.
How may I serve? Ah.
Blessings to you.
I almost did not see you. Well done, Beckoned. The stowaway is no more. Please take this as a token of Idila's gratitude. If you found a task you wish to take on from the petition board and complete it, I will recompense you for your trouble. I have a bad feeling about this. The city regularly sends surveyors into the sewers, but normally with an escort. But the guard has been stretched thin of late. It is rather annoying that as high as we are from the teeth, we can still fall prey to the mischief of sprites. They've squirreled away some items in their dens below the sewer. A brooch, an idol, and a mason's hammer. The troll has been dealt with, beastly thing. Though I cannot help but feel as though this city has lost an institution, in a way.
Can I interest you in some armor? Beckoned! For us, you won't find better protection anywhere up here amongst the clouds. Stock you approve of? Watch your step up here in the concourse. It is a long way down. The Beckoned! Can I interest you in a potion?
Blessing. Well done, Beckoned. It is unfortunate that our surveyor died, but thank you for returning her report. Please take this. Grim tidings. We shall be more careful with our surveys, I'm sure. But that's a cold comfort to the surveyor's family. Thank you for returning her report. Well done, Beckoned. Thank you for returning these items. Please take this as a token of Idila's gratitude. Glad to know that the items were found without too much trouble. Thank you, Beckoned.
Another day in this forsaken.
And you return to me. I hope you are finding this work well suited to you. Very well. I shall endeavor to reward you for your labors.
Be careful here.
Beckon, is there anything I...
You bear the circlet of Arcase. Then the wreath is almost complete. The foundation is gold with runes of prayer, as I said. Now, it must be woven with blood and toil. The colossi furnish the foundation and nature furnishes the trappings. The laurels of the wreath are not crafted, but earned. We seek Teryx veins. Once they are ours, once the wreath is complete, the ritual of atonement can begin. I take it you have encountered a Teryx before. Likely the mongrel, carrion-eating scavengers that plague us. They are a common foe. We seek the veins of the Alpha Teryx. They are fierce and proud, all that is wild and savage in nature. To prove to the gods the righteousness of our faith, then we must conquer a mighty foe. They will serve. The gods sent you to bear witness to our atonement. To do that, we must complete the Wreath of Absolution. The wreath is made from the large feathers, the veins of the Teryx Alphas. They live in eyries to the south. They are vicious beasts, wild and strong. The Alphas, our quarry, are particularly fierce. come beckoned.
Welcome to Idylla. You must be the
Greetings, Beacon. Are you here to debate?
You are the... Are you in need of medical assistance? I know the healing arts. I am one of Onisimos's oldest disciples. I have taken to tending to the inexperienced students after their debates. The Master is troubled. The Lycaeus has seen its attendance gradually drop since the tragedy at the Hyperion. Have you seen it? The theater is perhaps our greatest rival in capturing the idle time of Idylla's citizens. Over the years, I've warmed to the idea of their productions, but there is no substitute for the Lycaeus' debates. Perhaps I should see Stratton's newest play.
You must be the beckoned. I must say that you are the most peculiar specimen I have ever glimpsed. Your fate, I cannot think but I have been blinded, but you are the only flaw in my gaze. The first of many failures. I have seen the portents of the future, and the old Primos wears the garb we all will be shrouded in. I have always been able to snatch glimpses of the future. But very recently, since news came that you appeared in our land, these dim half-visions of mine have burst into full, glorious sight. I can see the fate of this city now, of all who live within it. Except for you, curiously enough. The city will hold longer than this academy, but all things in this world fall to ruin. Every morning I wake and despair. For I see the mighty walls of Idylla and the tower of the Primos crumble to dust before my eyes, replaced by an empty sky. I tell you, this academy's destruction is assured. The details are vague to me, but there will come a time when theology means nothing to the Colossi. Academics, scholarly pursuits, all of it gone. In its place, the savagery of the Myru. Mark my words. I attend these final debates as the school enters its death throes to chronicle them for the future. Would that I could unsee some...
What do you think of our humble academy, Chosen One? Could I perhaps convince you to debate one of my prodigies? Surely the beckoned of Athene would be a worthy lecturer. I despair that the Lycaeus has passed under the awareness of one so blessed. Our academy is the center of conversation for philosophy and theology in Idylla. Would you be opposed to joining us for a dialogue or two? It would be an honor. Wonderful! With the hard times about us, I worry that our long-kept traditions will eventually be lost as the school's influence wanes. Your involvement is sure to spark interest in the Lycaeus once again. Now, let us begin. In your first debate, You face Thace, one of my most promising students. He did not have the strength needed to appeal to the gods, though he was named Primos. His virtue faded over time. Many argue the meaning of the beckoned. Are you a conduit of the gods, or are you merely their messenger? I know what you are, though. You are the strength of the gods incarnate. If anything, this city is great for separating the weak and impious from the strong. Not all have kept the promises we made to the gods. Some have left our city to live in the wilds, as if they were the Myru. Fools. I will admit, times are difficult for the school. Few have the fire within them to debate. They seem to prefer moping. That is what we were before the gods sought to raise us up. Life for the Myru was not as you see here. The Myru cared only for base pleasures, carnage, conquest, and power. They were far from the enlightened people the Colossi are today. I am the master of the Lycaeos. I do what I can to enlighten the minds of those who enter my academy. Study hard.
Greetings.
Have you seen the rather small...
Ithene, guide your action.
Anacotis walks among us, and the citizens are awed. This act seems small. I listen. What can I do? Farewell.
day. You must be the one I've been hearing so much talk about. The one that has been beckoned by Athene. You are truly someone special. Special enough that perhaps you could help me with a task that has been of great concern to me. I seek to restore this shrine, so that the patrols of the Teeth of Naros can take use of it. The shrine carries the blessings of the gods, relaying them to special litanies. However, the magics of the shrine have worn out. But it can be repaired. With 5 of these litanies, the magics of the shrine can be restored. Thank you, friend. I would search myself, but I would need to leave my post to do so. And I must keep the watch. 5. Yes, 5 litanies should hold enough magic to restore the altar to working condition. Gather them, and bring them here. Take care out here.
We are here. That is good. I feel hope stirring in my veins once more. It is the prospect of reconciliation that has granted me a second youth. Come. We must kill the alphas of each Eyrie. With their veins in hand, we shall fulfill the gods' wishes. The Terex Eyries lie in the wilds of the Teeth of Naros, to the south of the city. We need not look far to find what we seek. But while there are many lesser Terex here, we seek only the plumage of their strongest and brightest. These are the true challenge. Very well, Beckoned.
my wrath!
Come. The circlet must be built. Thus we begin. And as we harvest these trophies, you shall learn the journey the Colossi have taken to get here. Once we were but savages, no better than the other giant kin. We were called Myru, and to that identity we were chained, until one day, Athene spoke to us. She spoke of a destiny and greatness that was not ours, but could be. She showed us the path of ascension, and we followed it here, to the teeth of Naros. No, we are far from the homeland of our ancestors. Undoubtedly the gods wished us to renounce our savage history. It was necessary. Though the Jotun and Etin once regarded us as kin, they grew jealous of us, of the strength we gained from the gods' favor. Tensions rose to war. It was a sign from Athene to my people to seek a new homeland, where the bounty of her wisdom could be harvested eternally. Salvation awaits. Feel my wrath! Feel my wrath! Feel Balin's embrace! We wandered the teeth of Naros in search of the homeland we were promised. And when hope seemed lost, we found the Hyperion. It was a divine artifact. No mortal hand could have crafted it, a massive stone, alone in the wilderness, with the image of a floating city engraved upon its surface. At the city's heart was the Hyperion itself. We knew then Athene was tasking us to craft this wondrous city, to form a covenant. But we betrayed that ideal. To test our worthiness, the gods have strewn throughout Amalur riddles, puzzles, and challenges. Answering them demonstrates our greatness. The Hyperion is one such challenge, perhaps the greatest of them. And though we discovered it years before, we still do not have the answer. Very well, Beckoned. Feel Balin's embrace! Feel my wrath! Feel Balin's embrace! In the end, the city rose, but the Hyperion did not follow. The heart of the city remained unmoved. That we could not abide. My predecessor, Arcades, sought to force the Hyperion up, but the Hyperion rejected him, killing him and his followers, and sealed itself away. Our work here is concluded. As a show of thanks, take this helm. Once reserved for our strongest fighters, it is only fitting you receive it. I must make the gods see that my people can be redeemed for the faults of Arcades. With the wreath in hand, I can conduct a ritual of atonement. As you bear the cipher, the conduit to the gods, you will bear witness. Come, we must conduct this ceremony at the site of our original transgression. Let us go to the Hyperion. The cipher you carry is a conduit to the gods, to their wisdom, their judgment, and their power. You carry it, and thus you are their intermediary. Since you will bear witness to the ritual of atonement, the gods will as well. If it will not, then why were you brought to me? To give pretense to salvation? To raise our hopes, only to crush them with failure? I know the gods of my forerunners. They would not flaunt the answer to their riddles without sharing it. Now come. The Hyperion awaits. It is a riddle carved of stone that the gods left for us. It shows a city of the clouds, with the Hyperion itself floating at its heart. It was a covenant the gods wished to form with us, to raise Idylla and the Hyperion with it. But the riddle is difficult, and we have no answer for it. This is not a ritual in a traditional sense. Never have we fallen so far. Never have we needed such an act of conviction. We must go to the Hyperion, which lies beneath the city of Idylla. It is the site of our great sin, and to be the site of our great absolution. We must act.